This is Dolly D.
So, we're going to fire up Dolly Dimples.
All
We
right.
should all go in the other room first.
Go, Dolly. It's your Dolly is black. Look at her.
Yeah, she is.
Dolly is straight up black.
Oh, yeah, she is.
She got an
Listen to her.
afro.
We
she got
should
the
probably
lips, she
move
has the
some of
big
the
nose.
items that are on
Go
top
ahead,
of her
girl.
piano. Is everybody ready with the technology?
Yep.
All right, sweet. Okay, so here she is, the fabulous Dolly Dimples. She is a very special character. She's also very rare. Dolly Dimples is probably one of the first female characters that Pizza Time Theater created way back in their beginning. I believe it was 1978, 1979 she first showed up on the scene as an experimental sideshow. She was originally in her own room that was called the Cabaret Lounge. And in that room, it was a separate place where you could eat, and she would perform in the corner. It was very nice because it was kind of a separate area from the main showroom. The nice thing about Dolly is she had a very cool personality, as you will soon be hearing and seeing. She was the most common cabaret character in Pizza Time theaters. But, however, in this day and age, there are not many of these that still exist. This Dolly has actually been fully restored. The outer coverings, I actually all restored last year for the captain. And she appeared at last year's CheeseVention up in Massachusetts, but she was not operating. It was just the outer cosmetics. So the original cosmetics, the fabric had all faded and it was stained over years of being in storage at some store or wherever she came from. But we cleaned her up. We totally put new fabric on her.
She used to be a cow.
She used to be a cow.
Oh, really?
Yep. Someone had changed her from a dolly to a cow to use at their own
Pasteurized.
store. And we've changed her back to the original form. The captain's been working really hard the past few months to get this system to work with her, to get her operational so she can perform for us here at CheeseVention 3. And this is very exciting because I remember her from last year, and all she did, you could hear her music, but she wouldn't perform. But now we're going to get to actually see her perform, which I think is so cool. And for those of you who'd like to see Dolly back in the day, there's a photo album over here of mine that has photos of her from Pizza Time Theater. I'll actually just go around with that right now so everybody can get a quick look at it. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, Matt.
Problem?
Here she is at Pizza Time Theater. This is a poster that they used to have at the front of the store so that guests coming in would know what characters were performing in the cabaret or in the lounge. The king, who was on this other page, used to appear in another room called the lounge, which was basically the same idea as a cabaret. They were really neat, separate rooms where you could go to eat and just have that one character perform special for you, which was very cool. I thought it was very cool.
And the king did birthdays too.
Yeah, I remember that.
I never saw him, but I've seen reels with him.
Dolly was also a character, one of the only female characters in Pizza Time Theater's history that appeared on merchandise. She was used a lot. She was the primary female character. She appeared on so many pieces of merch.
Yeah, like
It was
the
really
bathroom
weird
sign.
because even later on, sorry, Captain?
Oh, I was gonna say she's on the bathroom sign.
Yes, she's on the bathroom sign. When you folks take a look at the displays over here a little bit later, check out that framed little like shadow box. There's an authentic girls' bathroom sign in there that has Dolly Dimples on it.
Do we know when Dolly first appeared? I mean, was she...
78, 79.
I think she's ready.
She was definitely at Pizza Time Theater in 79. The first one was performing at the original San Jose, California store, which was the first Pizza Time Theater that opened in May of 1977. She came along a year or 2 years later. She was definitely there in 79. There's no doubt about that, because there is photographic proof. The original Dolly had a latex mask, very similar to the Rockafire characters. There's a small image that I'm sure a lot of you have seen on Travis's site in the history section, but I've also printed it out in this book for anyone who's curious, who wants to see the original version of Dolly. It was interesting how back then they originally were going to go with latex masks instead of the fabric that they eventually ended up with. Here she is in this very tiny photo right here. It's so small, it's kind of hard to see, but this book will be up here on the table. I encourage everybody to come up, take a peek. There's all kinds of neat stuff in here, little clips. But her whole head and nose and everything was all latex. Her hands probably too. There's also an old glass here that this is off of Travis's site in the collectibles section. That's a great glass. I want that glass. So what do you think, Captain? Are you ready to roll?
I think so.
All right. So here she is, the amazing, fabulous, wonderful Miss Dolly Dimples, living again. She has been enhanced. She's wearing Helen Henny's.
It's on loan. Helen knew, that it was.
Yeah, her hat
She
and
could-
Her first stole is not actually original with Dolli Dimples. She's been enhanced. She wanted to dress for the occasion because, you know, she's at CB3. So she wanted to dress up for us.
Okay, here we go. I think.
Now that I'm here, Fancy Face, why don't you tell me about my future, since I know all about my past? And while you're at it, why don't you sing along with my song, California, here I come, right back where I started from, where bowers of flowers bloom in the spring. Each morning at dawn and birdies sing, and everything a sun-kissed guy said, don't be late, that's why I can hardly wait. Open up that golden gate, California, here I come. You know, for a long time I was ashamed of the way I lived, but rather than reform, I got over being ashamed. San Francisco, open your golden
If any of you want to take a look over on this side, if you look behind the piano, you'll see her arm moving like this. It kind of recreates the fact that she's actually playing the piano. It's a little hard to see because it's a little high up. But it's kind of cool to see her doing her little dance. Also be sure to check out this original computer over here. Came right out of the Pizza Time Theater. This is a beautiful machine. I love these machines, these old machines. We got a reel-to-reel player here that's playing an original show tape that came out of a store. We also have a card rack down here. The captain spent so much time getting this equipment up. Really, I'm so appreciative of it that he's worked so hard to get all this stuff up. Not only for his own enjoyment, because he's always wanted to have an operational dolly, and the shows we'll be seeing a little later on, but also he wanted to really have a nice attraction for us here at the CheeseVention this year.
These are my favorite things, namely anyone who's long, tall, and Texan. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart. Wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. The sage and blue is like perfume, deep in the heart of Texas. Reminds me of the one I love, deep in the heart of Texas. This next song is for my second husband, Eugene, who used to ride with the Texas Rangers. He's a long, tall Texan. He wears a 10-gallon hat. He rides for justice to enforce the law. When people look at him, they say, ooh, is he the law? You know he is. The eyes of Texas are upon you. All the living undead. The eyes of Texas are upon you. You cannot get away. Those eyes are like yours, mister. I wouldn't want to get away. Do not think you can escape them. Not too early in the morning. The eyes of Texas are upon you. To get rid lost his horse. Well, if you like what I did then, let's plan on doing it again later. See you.
Woo!
Dolly.
Dolly is so ghetto. I love her.
She is
amazing.
awesome. There is a story that the woman who is singing on these reels was actually a nightclub performer that Nolan Bushnell himself discovered in a nightclub out in California when he was putting together his concept for Pizza Time Theater.
Wow.
And he invited her to come and record these. Now it's just a rumor, it hasn't been confirmed. But definitely the person who's doing the voice has some experience. And she's such a great character. It's just such a shame that they don't have anything like this today at Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, she can get a little sassy. She talks about all her different husbands
Oh, I
and
know.
all that.
I'm listening.
She can get sassy.
And Johnny was lovely. Oh, Lordy, how they could have give you all the details, but this is a respectable place. They swore to be true to each other, just as true as the stars above. He was the man, but he done him wrong. Let me tell you the story.
16th, depending upon if there's
Maggie went down to the theater just for a pizza and beer.
tip jar out there for Dolly. Like the real piano players, you know?
I am not bad at her hands. Go ahead.
Yeah, she's wearing jewelry. She's got on her
I'm
rings.
gonna tell
She's
you.
got on
They're
big
all
old hands
recreations
somehow.
though. I had to recreate them all.
I ain't gonna tell you no lies. Not my fault. Johnny went by
Isn't that cool?
with a girl named Nellie Bly. He was your man. I hate to tell you, but he's doing you wrong. Johnny saw Frankie a-coming. Out the back door he did scoot. Frankie took aim with a pistol, and the gun went root toot toot. He was a man, and she caught him doing her wrong. Now the sheriff, he arrested poor Frankie, took her to jail that same day. Locked her up in a dungeon cell.
If anybody wants to go up and check her out up close, now's the time. When she's done with this song, we're gonna move on to the trivia contest. So if you want to check her out, take pictures, go nuts. That's why she's here.
I think Devin voted
Story
like this.
has
Think so?
no